coming straight at you from the bowels of the basement of the Bronx, New York. This is that show that will discuss political issues that affect you and I in different ways. This is that show that doesn't do the political status quo. You know what they say goes. Join us on this quest to seek the answers we need. Welcome to The Miranda Project. Welcome to the project. I'm your host, Manny. Happy to be with. Let's jump right in. But before we do, we want to thank our friends over at ChristianLawson.com. Ladies and gentlemen, run over to ChristianLawson.com. I mean, I know the holiday seasons are here. I mean, it's here. And it's probably a little bit late to get something for that loved one. But you never know. You might get something quick. You might not. But at least you can run over to ChristianLawson.com and maybe get something for that person for, you know, maybe Valentine's Day. That's around the corner, right? Quote unquote. Or for their birthday. Who knows? Just go to ChristianLawson.com. Spoil yourself and get yourself a late gift. Who knows? Just go there. Fall in love with a beautiful timepiece designed in England. Once you go there and you fall in love and you put it in your cart, make sure you put in promo code TMP30. Once again, that's promo code TMP30 and get yourself an extra 30% off site-wide. Who's better than you? Run over to ChristianLawson.com. Click on the link in our show notes or go to our website, The Miranda Project. That's PROJCT.com. That's project without an E. Click on the link there and let Christian Lawson know that the project sent you. Thank you very much, Christian Lawson. Welcome again. I mean, today's show is it is on the political side. Let's, again, we are a political commentary show, but some of the stuff that has been going on recently, especially after the apparent Twitch suicide, we wanted to discuss, only because we've spoken about a little bit about it in the past on how men have been demonized. And, with that being said, you have this young man who took his life, and we have to really come to terms with the fact that this is happening more and more commonly within men. Men are taking their lives more and more. And it's sad to see stuff like this because, again, you look at that young man and you see what transpired and how it transpired. He was literally dancing with his wife and his kids 2 days prior to taking his life. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy theories. We love conspiracy theories here on the project. We've talked about them before, and we'll always say a disclaimer, so on and so forth. But we're not going to talk about conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about the fact that today men are demonized. Okay? Men are demonized, and it comes from the top. You know how they say it rolls downhill? We're a family-friendly show, so we're not going to say it. But it rolls downhill, and it comes from the top. It comes from the political bodies. It comes from the people that are writing these laws, that are telling people how they should and shouldn't behave, right? I mean, quote unquote. But I just wanted to really talk about the state of society and how they look at men and how that is a serious driver when it comes to what we're looking at, what we're experiencing, and what we're seeing men deal with on a daily basis at this point. And again, don't get me wrong, women have had a plight throughout history. I mean, there are still some countries in this world that don't see women as equals. It's sad that you have that, but on the same token, you have this country and some others that have completely, as I stated before, demonized men. Men are looked upon as a what's it called? Toxic. That's the term, right? Toxic. Men are toxic. You see it more and more often. Like it's you have these women, these groups, these political entities, these people that are telling you that men are toxic, that men mansplain, that men this and men that, but yet, they don't really see what they're doing to society and how they're playing or downplaying the role of a man. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, I love disclaimers, and I will always give you disclaimers on the show. I am not saying that a woman cannot do what a man can do. That's not what this show is about. It's not what this episode is about. Okay? Because I know that women can do the same, if not more, than men can. Obviously, in different ways, because our Creator made us differently. Like, don't get me wrong, a woman can lift a 50-pound baby just like a man can lift a 50-pound baby. If a woman filled with enough adrenaline can lift up, what's it called, a 300-pound, device or something, just like a man can. So this is not about who's stronger and who's not. This is about how men have been demonized, looked down upon, and it's coming to fruition that you have men dealing with this issue of mental health. Excuse me, I'm still killing a little coffee there. And you have these men dealing with this issue of mental health. And it's sad to say, it truly is, crazy that this day and age where you talk about mental health and how important mental health is, it's downplayed. And when a man seeks out or even thinks about, mental health, then, he's demonized as he's crazy or, he's weak. Because a man is supposed to be strong. What, crying? You have to become effeminate in order to do that. And we've spoken about the fact that, society is trying to effeminate men. There's no more manly men. There's no more men that have, dirt under the fingernails. That's looked down upon. You have to be effeminate. It reminds me of that that picture of that man that took his son to see that basketball game. This was like, it went viral. I believe it was the University of Kansas basketball team. I think it's the Jayhawks. I think that's their name. This man is a coal miner. Dirt under the fingernails. Working in a mine. Manly man. Comes out of work and picks up his family and goes with the coal dust on his body and still takes his child to go see that game. And I'm glad that the team, all right, please understand, I'm glad that the team recognized him. I'm glad that the team made a big deal out of it, because you don't see that anymore. And it's not that men don't do that. It's just not celebrated. It's not. Men are pariahs. We're pariahs. We're mansplainers. We it's a man's world and all of that. And men make more, and the what's it called? The pay gap. Listen, I'm not here to dispute pay gaps or none of that. I'm not. Because I don't want to make this episode about pay gaps and women make more or men make more than women. And then you're going to go and they're going to talk about the U.S. women's football team or soccer team versus the U.S. men's soccer team and all this other stuff. And WNBA versus the NBA. And, That's not what this is about. Because I give women their due. I give them their just due. They can do as much as we can. But why is it that we're treated as pariahs? Why is it that we are not celebrated? And then you wonder why you have men that are out there taking their lives. Now, men don't listen. I don't need to be celebrated. I don't need to have a big old party. I don't need to have this big old shebang or to do whatever. I'm alive. I'm doing my thing. A little recognition, and I'm not saying that that doesn't come from my family. That's please understand that that's not the case here. What I'm trying to get at is that there are men, and especially in the Black and Latino communities. Please understand, the Black and Latino communities suffer from this the most. Don't get me wrong. White and every other race and every other nationality and all that, they deal with this. But it's prevalent in the Black and Latino communities. And the reason why I bring that up is because you have the powers that be, quote unquote, the politicians, these people that keep telling you or singing to you about social justice and equality and all of this, and we have to look out for the Black and Latino communities, and there's too many Black and Latinos in jail, and it's social justice and all of that, and we need to change. And these are the same people that are telling you that men are evil. These are the same people that are telling you that men make more, that men should be looked down upon, that men are toxic. So on one hand, you have these people telling you we have to be social justice warriors, but on the other hand, they're telling you, Black men are being killed by police officers exponentially. Hispanic men, the same thing. But the numbers don't justify that. You have more Black men killing more Black men, more Hispanic men killing more Hispanic men, more Black and Hispanic men killing themselves than police doing it. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about that. Because it's social justice. It's social justice. So if it's social justice, then why isn't it justice for these men that are dealing with what they're dealing with? I'm going to give you guys a few examples, and I'll talk about me personally a little bit here too, because I get on this podcast. And I express myself the way I do. And we have our listeners, and we love and appreciate our listeners. I had a great conversation with one of our listeners we went off back and forth on what's going on in this country, especially in the school system, which we're going to talk about a little bit on how they treat boys. And due to our previous episode titled, "What About Our Dreamers?" Because we're worried about the dreamers outside, but we're not worried about the dreamers in here. We can care less. If you haven't heard that episode, go ahead and take a listen to it. But we love, and the dialogue was amazing. Don't get me wrong, there's dialogue that we get that, it's not that favorable. People, don't like what we have to say or share, whatever the case may be. But you know what? It is what it is. You don't have to like the content. We like you for listening. We thank you for listening. But this allows me to speak my mind, to be, this is kind of like a bit of therapy for me. A little bit of therapy. Because we all need someone to talk to, whether it's a family member, whether it's a member of the clergy, of your pastor, your what's it called? You have your pastor, For Christian church and for the Catholic church is the priest. For Muslim, I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry, I do apologize, and so on and so forth. I mean, whatever faith you have, I'm sure that there's someone that you can go to and talk to about what's going on in your mind, in your head. We need to let these things out. But no, we can't, because according to society, you're weak. According to society, you're not a man. According to society and the people that, tell you that this is going on, because again, the society and I can't think of the term, but it's close. It's downhill from politics, and it'll come to me. But when we think about the status quo, we think about what's going on. We concern ourselves with what these people are telling us, and how they're telling you that they're social justice warriors, but yet they can care less about you. They can care less about the issues of mental health. They can care less about the fact that you need to talk to someone. And they're going to hold you down, and they're going to make it harder for you. And this message doesn't only go out to men. This is everybody. This is everybody. This is everybody. It's very, very important. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what goes on, when it comes to this. It really is very, very scary what we see. And you pay attention to what ended up happening with this young man. I mean, height of his career. I mean, I know that he wasn't working for Ellen anymore. But again, he was in such a great place, right? Quote unquote. And then he ends up doing what he's doing, or he did. And it's sad. It truly is sad that this is where we are today, and that's why I wanted to pinpoint this particular show to that, because we know that even though our politicians right now are basically selling our country through the back door. I mean, you had President Zelensky, did I say right? Zelensky in here, what's it called, doing a song and dance to get more money out of, more of our taxpayer dollars to take back to Ukraine so they can wash it and send it back to the Democrat Party. I mean, wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh, scratch that. I didn't say that. That's a conspiracy theory. Even though FTX really, that's what FTX did. But no. The politicians get richer and we get poorer and poorer, and we can't figure out how to pay bills. And then all of a sudden now you're wondering why men are behaving the way that they're behaving. But before we get into all of that, I want to thank our friends over at Instacart.com. Ladies and gentlemen, run over to Instacart.com. We have been partners with them now for a while. They are a great, great company. I mean, the ability to be able to order anything from the comfort of your home and get anything from your neighborhood grocery chain is amazing. You could be doing, recording a podcast. You could be at home taking care of the little ones. You could be anywhere or doing anything at home and having the ability to order what you need so that it can be delivered to your door in approximately an hour. Who's better than you? I mean, I say it all the time. Go to Instacart.com. Once you're there, it's as simple as whether you just want to order something, or it's as simple as making sure that you can get on their monthly plan, which is $9.99 a month, or $99 for the year. I mean, it's that great. I mean, they have great perks there. Free orders or free deliveries for anything over $35. Family sharing. I mean, awesome things. I mean, I'm just scratching the surface. Go to Instacart.com. Click on the link in our show notes, or go to our website, the Miranda Project, PROJCT.com, and click on the link there. Once you do that, you're letting Instacart know, rather, that the project sent you. Thank you once again, Instacart.com. So, again, I'm a little under the weather. You can hear me a little bit nasally, and I do apologize for that. But I go back to the fact that right now, in the economic state that we're in, where our politicians, our government, is basically selling us out the back door, and you have families, and again, this is both men and women, please understand this, that are suffering, that are trying to make ends meet, that are trying to figure out how to put food on the table, how to put gas in their cars, how to heat their homes, how to pay their rent, how to pay their cable bills, how to put clothing on the back of their children. But yet, our politicians are selling us out the back door, giving away our hard-earned tax dollars. They're just giving it away. So as the country cripples with this, and people are pulling their hair out, trying to figure out how they're going to be able to handle these things, you have this big, divide, where again, you have people that, hey, listen, they can do it, they can handle it, and then you have the people that can't. And they're struggling together. Whether it's a home, mother and father, father and father, mother and mother, whatever. At this point, let's be real. And they're struggling, trying to make ends meet. And one of the biggest precursors, of someone thinking about taking their life is the financial aspect of it. It's the fact that, and I'm going to talk directly about the man in this case because I know it happens to everyone. But I'm going to talk about men in this case because you have this happening more and more and more within men. Why? Because I'm going to give you the reason why. Because I'm the man. I'm supposed to be able to put food on the table. I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm trying to do the best for my family. I'm killing myself at work and I'm not making enough. My wife is looking at me and we're trying to figure out these bills. And I'm short for this or I'm short for that, and I feel less than. And if I talk about it with her, then she can come down on me and tell me, well, what kind of man are you? You can't even provide for your family. That makes you feel less than. It makes you feel unworthy. It makes you feel like you can't do for your family. Can you imagine that feeling? That feeling of dread, that feeling of weight, that just, it eats away at you. It sits on your shoulder. It's that big elephant in the room and you can't do anything about it. You're just trying and you pick overtime and you do this and you do that and everything that you can try to do to try to make, whatever it is to supplement the fact that we're being sold out the back door. Because regardless of the fact, you can't stop working, bills got to get paid, the rent got to get paid, mortgage got to get paid, whatever. Doesn't matter if this administration is selling us out the back door to Ukraine, it doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you at home have to sit there and respond to your wife. You have to sit there and respond to your child. You have to sit there and respond to someone about the fact that you can't put a piece of chicken on the table. And then what? You start coming down on yourself. Because you are the man. You're supposed to provide. Society says that you are the provider. And you know what? Even biblically speaking, you're supposed to till the land, right? That's what men are supposed to do. And don't get me wrong. We live in a two-income society. So both men and women work to try to keep the house afloat. Right? But you have men that take all of this upon themselves and they go to extremes to try to make sure that they can provide for their families. Please don't get me wrong. Again, I don't want to go back and forth with this is not only a men thing, it's everyone. But they don't have an outlet. What's an outlet? Alcohol, drugs? Is that the outlet? Is there someone that they can talk to? Or because we said it before, that you get looked down upon because you can't share your feelings. What woman wants to be with a man that shares his feelings? Oh, women say it all the time. I want an affectionate man. But the moment that he shares his affection or he's effeminate or he cries, what kind of man are you? You're weak. I can't be with no weak man. A weak man that doesn't know how to pay bills. You don't think that happens? You got another thing coming. Men, I mean, it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. To be there, sitting there, trying to figure out, trying to make ends meet, trying to provide for your family, trying to make sure that what you make and what she makes equals enough to be able to pay off every single one of the bills. And when you come up short, then you start looking down upon you, believing that she's looking down upon you, your kids are looking down upon you, then you are once again some pariah, some less than. You are not enough of a man to take care of all of us. But daddy, why can't I eat the big piece of chicken? But daddy, why is it that we're not eating any meat? But daddy, I really want those Jordans. But daddy, I really want to be able to put on that coat. Why can't you afford it? What do you say to your child? You can yell at them all you want and tell them, leave me alone, leave me alone. But that gets to you. It gets to you. And again, two family incomes but you gotta make ends meet. And man, we take all of that upon ourselves. We internalize it. Women don't necessarily do it the way that we do. They're more expressive. Why are they more expressive? Because they'll let you know. Why can't you pay that bill? What happened? I'm upset with you. How dare you? They let it out. We don't. Yeah, we could be upset with our partner and say something or whatever, but we don't express it. We internalize it. We hold it. And we start saying to ourselves, why can't I be what I'm supposed to be? Why am I lacking? What is it about me? Lord God, why am I going through this? Is it not, am I not enough? Am I not good enough? Is it easier for them to be with someone that can provide for them rather than be with me? I'm a weight on them, and I believe that they can possibly be taken care of better if I'm not around. And please, for any man out there that's listening to this show or this episode that you've felt that way, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. I've been there. Talk to someone. You should not put yourself in this position where you feel that you are less than, that you can't provide, that they can be better off without you. Because that leads to that suicidal ideation. That's your first step. That's the first step into thinking that it's better if I'm not around. They'd be better off. They'll be happier. There won't be problems. They'll find someone that can take care of them. The system will take care of them. I got some money put away. Maybe that'll help. Social Security or life insurance or whatever the case may be. We have to be careful with that. You see, the financial aspect of it, even though it weighs on every single party of a household, minus the kids, because we bubble the kids away from it. We don't talk to the kids about it, unless they're asking for way too much things, and we just tell them not. We're not buying that. We ain't got the money for it. But the financial piece, finances in the home, make it so hard on both parties. And again, it doesn't matter what parties. Again, I'm not, doesn't matter. I said it before. I'm not going to go and repeat it again. But it makes it so hard on both parties. One party can express it and get it off their chest. Go talk to their girlfriend. Go talk to their mother. Go talk to this person, that person, the other person. The other party, not so much. You're going to go and run to your boys and be like, yo, I can't pay this bill, man. It's stressing me the hell out. I don't know what the heck to do. Because in your mind of minds, because we know how men are, we know how we are, we've been doing it since childhood, we make fun of each other. And don't get me wrong, you're probably going to be like, what kind of friends are those? We all have those friends, and they're awesome and great friends. But we make fun of each other. It happens. It may not necessarily go and you can't. But there will be a joke or something that will be said that you might take it and you might internalize it and put it in that little box and not talk about it. You're not going to run to your friends. You're not going to run to people. You're going to internalize it. That's what men do, unfortunately, and it's bad. It's bad. And this is why I say, this stuff that's going on, the financial piece of it is something that is a huge, huge stressor. And men are dealing with this, and they're dealing with it differently than women are dealing with it. And I put out this show because I implore men to get help. Whether it might be financial help, whether it's mental help or something, don't think that you are less than because you're having issues with paying something off, or you think that your family is better off without you being there. Because that, my friend, is the wrong mentality. I'm supposed to be the provider. I'm the man of the house. And I can't do it. I can't do it. It hurts because I can't do it. I'm struggling. And it's killing me inside. I don't know how to talk to my friends. I don't know how to talk to my wife. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know what to do. I got to figure this whole thing out on my own. And when everything continues to collapse around me, it just continues to get worse and worse. And when the ceiling falls on my head and I think to myself, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm a hindrance. I'm a hindrance to them. I want my child to be happy. I want her to get, or him to get what they want. Maybe they deserve better, because maybe I'm not it. How many men have had that conversation here? Feeling that there's some kind of a hindrance. Maybe people are better off. And again, it's not only men. So I put that out to everyone. But talk. Talk to someone. Even if there isn't a close friend, there are suicide hotlines. Find a mental health therapist. Speak to your pastor, to the priest. Speak to somebody. Because there is no justice for you. There's no social justice for you because you are a pariah. Politically, you are a pariah. Men are evil. Men are toxic. Ask AOC. Ask anybody in the squad what they think about men. And they'll tell you. They will tell you. Now, I want to give you another example of something that's big within society that leads to many, many men taking their lives. And I hate, kind of jumping, between topics and presenting a one of our affiliates. But, they help us out. And, it's, you go from one serious topic to kind of an interlude, and then you go into something else. But I just want to thank our friends, and I do apologize, but I do want to thank our friends over at Vitable.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the new year is almost upon us, and we know that everybody is going to be looking to better their lifestyle, going to be looking to lose weight, going to be looking to doing the things that they feel necessary to be able to get their life in order. Ladies and gentlemen, go to Vitable.com and take their quick online quiz. It's that simple. You will find what you need, not the stuff you don't. Take the guesswork out of going to the pharmacy and searching for all the different types of vitamins A through Z. Find exactly what you need. Take their quick online quiz. Get the things you need, not the stuff you don't. And start living your healthy life. Go to Vitable.com. Click on the link in our show notes or go to our website, the Miranda Project, projct.com, and let Vitable know that the project sent you. Thank you very much, Vitable.com. So, one of the things I think that really, really affects men in society today, and you have so many men trapped in this vicious cycle, and they have no answers. And you have society continuously putting these men holding men down, rather, when it comes to this. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. We joke about it at the job. We call it the 17% Club. For those of you that don't know what the 17% Club is, it's child support, right? Now, the reason why we call it the 17% Club is because they will take 17% out of your pay to pay for child support, which, do what you need to do. If you need to pay more, you want to pay more, then go ahead and do that. But that's not the issue. The issue is that if you are no longer with the mother of your child, then you pretty much have no rights to your child. Mom holds all the cards. And again, every child needs their mother. So I'm not going to take that away from that. I'm not. But mom holds all the cards. Mom will get every single penny of that child support dollars, excuse me, and say, I'm giving it to you, your dad's not giving it to you. Poison your child against you. Mom will skip visitations. Oh, I don't feel like going. No, you don't got to go see your dad. Screw him. And now dad has to go to the courts and say, hey, I haven't seen my kid. According to the court order, I'm supposed to see my kid on X, Y, and Z, and she decided not to bring him. And it's been a while since I haven't seen my children. I miss my children. I love my children. Why can't I see my children? And the court will pretty much shrug their shoulders and say to you, we don't care. Because you, sir, are not a emotional support system for your child. You, sir, are just a financial support system for your child. That's it. You don't have to be there for your child, even though you want to be there for your child. Just make sure that you continue to pay your child support, because if you don't pay your child support, we're going to take away your license. We're going to take away the ability for you to travel. We're going to take away any business licenses that you may have. We're going to take away your tax returns, if you have any tax returns, because that's all you are. You are a financial support system for your child. Please understand, I am not saying that you should not support your children. This is not what this is about. Take care of yours. They're your children. Don't be a deadbeat. But at the same time, when you want to be there for your kid and you can't because she holds all the cards and she's playing these games and you're powerless to do anything, because the courts, society, the powers that be, the political system is against you because you're a man. What's that saying? When a man loses his children, he has nothing to live for. Isn't that true? You're fighting and doing everything and anything that you can to possibly spend a few days with your kid. You only get them from Friday to Sunday. And maybe on Wednesday. Maybe. Because there used to be a time where you used to share households, right? 6 months here and 6 months there, and blah, blah, blah. For some odd reason, that has drastically changed. What changed? Is it society's view on men? Is it the fact that women hold all the cards? To be in a situation where you might be going through a divorce or you're divorced and there's children involved and you want to see your children and you can't because the powers that be, the court system, the people that created these laws, the legislatures. This is why politics is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this is not far from politics, because the people that we vote in are the people that are creating these laws. You see, you might go to the ballot box and see a judge on there and you say, oh, he's a Democrat, so I'm just going to put Democrat because I vote Democrat. Or he's a Republican, but I'm just going to put Republican because I vote Republican. But yet you haven't bothered to look at what his policies are, what he's running on. Excuse me, what they're running on. So then you wonder to yourself, when you're in the courthouse trying to fight for the few hours that is your right to see your children, and they're telling you you can't because some legislature changed the law and this judge is going to uphold that law, obviously because that's their job. It goes back to not only that judge, but it goes back to who are we voting for when it comes to voting for local elections. This stuff is important. So you're sitting there and you're wondering why you can't see your kids, and it's because of that. I mean, I'm not going and telling you who to vote for and what to vote for and all of that, but this stuff is important. We've spoken about local matters, and it's because of stuff like this. But going back to the fact that you're here killing yourself trying to be able to see your children, you're trying to do the right thing to see your children, and then someone in some office, in some meeting room in the legislature somewhere is telling you you can't because you are just a financial support system to this child. Then you start feeling like just that, and you want to see your child, and that's all you care about is just being with your child, because you're not only a financial support system, you're also an emotional support system. You need that child in your life as much as that child needs you in their life. But nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Because you're a pariah. There is no social justice for that. There's no justice for that. You're just a pariah. You're a man, and nobody cares about you. If we cared about you, then maybe you should become a woman. Well, I said it. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry, but I said it. God honest truth. They don't care. There's no justice for you. Why do you think so many men lose the battle for custody and feel so less of themselves, and they seek to do something as bad as committing suicide? It's a harsh reality. It's true, because it's the whole system, the whole entire system against you. And you're not going to win. And you have no one on your side. You have no one in your corner. And all you can do is take it and deal with it, because you're a man. And you don't need to be around your kids. Who cares about when you take a man's kids away, you've taken everything away from him? Who cares about that saying? He's got nothing to lose. Who cares? And again, this is not an indictment on women, because again, there are men out there that don't care for their children. Let's be real. There's two sides to this spectrum. That all they care about is just being that financial responsibility. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But dang, how many men are out there that are busting their butt, that want to be part of their kids' lives, that want to be involved, and they just can't. They're not allowed to. They're told that there's no need for it. That she's got it. She's in control. She holds all the cards. I've been there. I've done that. I thank God that I've never gone to the point of trying to commit suicide because of it. But I've been there. I know what that feels like. The emptiness of not having your child. The emptiness of trying everything that you possibly can. Going to the courts and having the courts treat you like you're a piece of garbage. Speaking to a judge and the judge just looking at you and just saying, just pay your child support. That's it. That's what you should be worried about. I've been there. Oh, it's not, this is not what this is about. It's not important. You don't have to see your kid. Just make sure that you're paying your child support. I was told that by a judge. Don't tell me it doesn't happen, because it does. You have these young men, these young boys that don't have their fathers in their lives because the system doesn't allow their fathers to be in their house. And then you wonder, why is it that we have our jails full of Black and Latinos? Wait, social justice. That's why. This is why. Social justice. The system is against Black, Latino, against all men. There's your systemic racism right there. You want systemic racism? That's your systemic racism. The system is against you being around your children. You are not important. You are nothing but a wallet. Deal with it. That's it. That's what the system tells you. Guys, look for someone to talk to. Seek the justice that you need the best way that you can, because you're going to fight an uphill battle when it comes to the courts. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's nothing that you can do when it comes to fighting the courts. There isn't anything. But seek help. Find someone to talk to about it. There are groups of men that are dealing with this that help each other out. There are therapists out there. There are lawyers out there that do specialize in this stuff if you could afford them. Excuse me. Don't fight this battle by yourself. Because that mentality of I have nothing to lose if I don't have my kids is another stepping stool to taking your life. And there's so many things out there that can lead to it, but I'm sorry, these are two of the biggest things: the financial piece and your kids, or the lack thereof, are so important. I mean, and I know that there will be people that listen to this show and will give comments about, men are evil and men this and men that. Again, you are entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to fight you. What I want to bring out to the table are two of the things that I see leading to the mass suicides in this country when it comes to men. Women are doing it too. Children are doing it, unfortunately. There is a huge mental health problem in this country. But our politicians are more concerned with lining their pockets and sending money to Ukraine than helping you and I. That's it. They're more concerned with that. They're more concerned with people coming from another country than dealing with the mental health issues that are going on right here. And that's bottom line. There is a huge mental health problem. And it's prevalent in men. I was at a meeting, and I know this episode's going a little long, so I do apologize, but I was at a meeting with Christian leaders in the city where we were talking about exactly this. The fact that Black and Latinos are killing themselves in a huge amount because they don't have, or they feel that they don't have the avenues to talk to anyone. And you know what the biggest reasons are for it? The two that I just explained. The finances and their children. Share this episode with someone that you feel might be going through this. It's not because, hey, listen, oh yeah, more listens. That's great. It's not about that. It's about the fact that maybe what I'm saying to someone can be helpful to them down the line. Maybe it'll help them find someone to talk to. I don't know, maybe. But there are so many men that are supposed to be, according to society, according to our politicians, according to the powers that be, quote unquote, that are, that they're fighting for. But yet all of these men are more alone in their minds, trapped in their minds, trapped in their heads, trapped in their problems, trapped in the lack of seeing their children, trapped in all of this stuff. And not only men, but everyone. And there's no one to help them in their minds. There's plenty of help out there. Like the word says, seek and ye shall find. Find help. And I know this is not our typical political conversation, but it is. Because I'm sorry. These politicians, these legislatures, these people that write these laws are the ones that are directly affecting all of this. I'll give you a quick example, and with this I close. Mayor the other guy, because we don't like to, say his name. Or maybe I'll say his name, de Blasio. de Blasio. And his wife disappeared, I don't know, how much was it? Billions? $1 billion? That was supposed to go into the mental health system in New York City. I don't know where that money went. It just, poof, disappeared. And there is a huge mental health problem in New York. But de Blasio painted Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Tower. He did it on in front of the criminal courthouse in the Bronx, right on Morris Avenue. He did it in Brooklyn on Fulton Avenue. He had Black Lives Matter painted on these streets. How empowering. But yet, those same Black lives that mattered can't get the mental health assistance that they need and require to help them if they are thinking of doing something or harming themselves. Not only harming themselves, but harming others. That's important. But remember, Black Lives Matter. These politicians are social justice warriors. Let's stop funneling Black and Latino men into the jail system. No, let's funnel them into the mental health system so that they can be helped. No, we can't do that. We got to help the people that are coming into the country. That's who we have to help. It's sad. And then you wonder why there is a mental health problem. Why it is that we're dealing with what we're dealing with. It's truly, truly sad. Thank you once again for joining us on the project. Check us out on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, on our, on our website, the Miranda Project, PROJCT.com. Scroll all the way to the bottom if you have any feedback or anything that you would like to say in regards to this particular episode. And please share. Again, I am not looking, it's not clickbait, listening bait, whatever. I just think this is important information for someone who might be on the fast track to doing something bad to themselves or maybe to others. Again, as always, God bless you